All right, welcome back. It is the final segment of the show, 10:48. I'm Dan Scott. Our thanks to Nico Medved for coming up and joining us here on camera and spending some time with us this morning. You can talk about this a lot, and I think to a lot of you who are listening and watching right now, I think you get it. I really do. The culture change that has happened inside the basketball program. And it's very hard. It's very hard to do that. I said I think it's the hardest thing to do in sports is to change the culture, to change a losing culture into a winning culture. It's not something that every coach can do. And let me give you a prime example. One of the criticisms of Phil Jackson in the NBA is that he's considered to be maybe the greatest coach of all time, but that he walked into ready-made situations, reaped the benefits, and never had to build anything. He took over the Bulls after Doug Collins had laid the groundwork, and you had Jordan and Pippen and that whole group, and he won 6 titles there. Then he goes to the Los Angeles Lakers with Shaq and Kobe and wins a couple of titles there. And what was interesting about that is he was offered the opportunity prior to taking the Lakers gig to take over the then New York Nets, the New Jersey Nets, and turned it down in favor of the Lakers. Well, the Nets were a mess. They were an absolute laughingstock at the time. And so he chose to take the Lakers when he could have taken that Nets team and built it from the ground up. I believe they were going to even give him, general manager powers, or at least have a say-so in player personnel. Well, now he's running the New York Knicks, and the Knicks are bad. They are just terrible, and he's not been able to turn them around. So there's always that question is going to linger over him. Yeah, he won more titles than any other coach, and this, that, and the other, and blah, 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 or more wins anyway. And then, but he always walked into ready-made situations. Some coaches are like that. Some coaches can't change a culture. They have to be in a winning culture. And that's why I think it's been so great to be here on the front lines and watch what's happened with this Furman basketball program. Because, folks, I can promise you, when I got here, my first season, the 2011-2012 season, the culture of Furman basketball was not good. Yeah, they had a winning season the year before and had gone to one of the lower postseason tournaments and gotten beat in the first round. But that season proved to be an aberration. And the culture, the apathy that had set in around the program was such that, you go on the road and you expect not just to lose, but to lose badly. And maybe nobody would say that publicly, but that's the way it was. And you come back to Timmons, and there's nobody here, and the students don't care, and it's been a difficult turnaround. And I don't think the culture has completely changed here yet, but my goodness, it's better than it was. And continuing to get better. And what you have to have is the buy-in. You have to have the buy-in from the other students, like the lacrosse team did 2 years ago. You have to have the buy-in from the faculty. You have to have the buy-in from the administration. And I think all those things are coming. I don't think they're all there 100% yet. And as I was talking with the coach on his way out the door, what a great springboard it would be to maybe bring everybody else there if this team could win the conference tournament and go to the NCAAs. Because then all of a sudden you're starting to get publicity that you can't pay for. And national people are coming in and doing stories on your team and showing the campus and exposing people to Furman who have no idea who it is, where it is, or what it's about. Talked about the same thing with Clemson football. I mean, Clemson was already a national name. But you look at what the last 2 years, these runs to the championship game and now winning the national championship have done, you can't buy that kind of publicity. And it's not just for the football team. It's had an effect on the entire school, academically and athletically. Well, make the NCAA tournament as a Furman basketball team here, and you'll get a little piece of that. You'll start to get that excitement. You'll start to get that recognition. And when ESPN does its 24 hours of college basketball next year, maybe you'll be the 7 a.m. game like Wofford was a couple of years ago on national television, at home, at the Benjo, getting a chance to show off the campus and show off the atmosphere. Maybe that'll be Furman. What it comes down to is everyone buying into the culture change. And, I know what this school is, and by golly, it should be proud of its academics. And it shouldn't compromise its academics. But it doesn't have to compromise its athletic team's chances of being successful either. And thankfully, we have a president here who gets it. We have an athletic director here who gets it. And you're starting to see all the pieces come together. And I think as we continue to move forward, you're going to see more and more of that culture changing. Academics and athletics can coexist. They can coexist at the highest level. One does not have to take away from the other. And athletics can be the front door to university. It can be the thing that gets the publicity that exposes a school like Furman to students, to people who have otherwise no idea who the school is. We hear it all the time. We're in an airport flying with basketball, and all the guys are in their Furman gear, Furman sweats. And we'll be there or be in a restaurant on the road somewhere. And people will say, Furman, where's that? Well, it's in Greenville, South Carolina. Well, I can guarantee you if Nico Medved's team wins the Southern Conference Tournament and goes to the NCAAs, there will be fewer people asking, where's Furman? Because there will be a little bit of spotlight shining on the school. There will be some national media exposure shining on the school. There will be people talking about it that normally wouldn't talk about it, that probably didn't know where it is. And it'll start opening doors that heretofore have been closed. So, culture change. The most difficult thing to do in the realm of sports, and yet we're watching it happen in real time here at Furman with the basketball team and I think in athletics overall. And in order for it to work, as I said, you've got to have the buy-in from the president all the way down to the student body. And while it's not completely there yet, the steps keep getting built, one on top of the other, and it's getting a little better and a little better all the time. I'm telling you, you get this fan base excited, this student fan base excited. Watch Wofford tomorrow night if you're there. Check out their students and how invested they are in their basketball program. Furman's getting there. It's not there yet, but it's on the way. And when it does get there, look out. Folks, it's been a good week, and it's been good to be back all week and without schedule changes and other things going on. Tomorrow night, Paladins at Wofford, 7 o'clock, 6:30 on the Furman IMG Sports Network. Again, it's on ESPN3, so feel free to watch the video. Just turn the sound down and dial us in, and you'll hear Tom Van Hoy and I calling the game from the Benjo tomorrow night in Spartanburg. Look forward to seeing you there. Look forward to being back on Monday. Remember, this show will be archived on my Facebook page pretty much immediately when I click the finish button, and we'll be pulling Nico Medved's interview out and sending it out via my social media and via the school's social media if you missed any of that 20-minute chat. Until Monday, as far as the show is concerned, you guys have a great weekend, and I'm Dan Scott saying God bless you, and so long, everybody.